When it's time to redecorate, there are so many beautiful colours to choose from. So how do you arrive at just one? Well, these days, most people opt for simple, plain neutrals. But you know, it is possible to have both. So for this room, how about we start by stripping it out, painting it white, and then we'll dip into colour. Wow, what an incredible difference a can of white paint can make. This room looks fresh, crisp, even twice the size. Now this is where most people stop, but I say, where's the personality? It still needs touches of colour, just a little bit, and with these beautiful colours, we're spoilt for choice. Let me show you how. We'll start with a feature wall. I'm loving this new paint colour from Dulux. It's called Blue Dude and it goes super well with this crisp white. The vibrant colour really works as a feature and it'll only take a couple of hours on a Saturday morning. Now, which wall in a room do you do as a feature wall? Well, it's to me the one that's the most obvious. In here, it's the wall behind the bed. Look at this old furniture, well made, great shape, nice and solid. Sure, not to everyone's taste for a modern room update, but with some paint, the challenge is on. Let's see what we can do. When you head down to your local paint shop, you'll see there are several different types of stain blocker available. Well, the shellac one is one of my favourites. It dries super fast. It's almost dry up here already. It also helps to stop any of this old colour from the furniture from soaking through, and it makes your top coat colour stick really well. And as for top coat colour, you guessed it, it is white. Now just remember, at top coat time, you don't use the same paint as you used on the walls. You use one that is specific for woodwork. In this case, aqua enamel. It's super hard wearing. You would never believe that this is the same furniture. It looks amazing just in white. But one of the biggest decorating trends right now is to add a tip of colour. Not all over, just to the leg. All I've done is measured down each leg and marked at an even height. Now I'm simply filling in the lower part of the leg with the same shade of blue as I did the feature wall. Time to sort those windows out. The old curtains, way too fussy, too much going on, and they just won't go with our new look. So to keep our theme going, I'm going for some new white curtains with a touch of blue. We're going to dip dye these curtains, kind of like what you used to do in school. It's a great way to jazz up curtains you may already have. Just check the fabric content because most dyes these days will only work with natural fibres, things like cotton, silk and linen. Now just work out how high you want your dye to come up and then just measure it and add some safety pins as a guideline across. Start with a big tub full of hot water, then dip the curtains straight down. What this does is it actually moistens all of the fibres so they take up the dye evenly. Okay, so now it is over to the tub of dye. Wish me luck. Now here's a tip for an even colour. Make sure you dip dye each set of curtains at the same time. Just keep lowering it down into the dye all the way to your safety pin mark. And when you're happy with the colour, just peg them out and rinse them off and let them dry. And just one more thing before we bring everything in. This old carpet just won't do. So it's out with the old and in with the new. While I was in the mood for dyeing, I also dipped this spare bit of fabric. I'm using it to cover the old cushion from the dressing table stool. It should finish it off nicely. It's a pretty simple job. All I need to do is just wrap it over the existing cushion and staple it onto the back. As promised, it's time to turn up the colour in this bedroom. It's like a breath of fresh air has passed through. The walls, the furniture and curtains all combine the very latest look of clean, crisp white, only this time with a dash of bold and brave.